At the start of every new year, we all have a list. This time I'll start a diet. This time I'll quit smoking. Or this time I'll say goodbye to my bad habits forever. For the first few days, everything goes well. We stick to our resolutions. But then, the same old pattern returns. Old habits, as if they never left, quietly creep back in, and when someone asks, why? Why couldn't you keep it up? We quickly reply, I just couldn't. My willpower is weak. But the truth is, that's just an excuse. Success or failure in anything doesn't rely only on willpower. In this book blink summary, you'll discover the strategies that will lead you to the real doors of success. You'll understand that changing your environment is the real secret, and how small changes in life can have a big impact on you. How your environment shapes you. There was a time when psychologists believed that a person's goals and mindset alone could change their behavior. For example, someone who smokes a pack of cigarettes every day wants to quit. According to that thinking, they simply need to change their mindset. Understand that smoking is harmful and decide to stop. But the reality is, changing your thinking alone doesn't change habits, because the real game is played by your environment. If that person grew up watching their parents smoke, and now their friends and colleagues also smoke, then during cigarette breaks, they'll naturally join them. And in such an environment, your willpower has its limits. If you want change, first change your environment. The people around you, your social circle, all matter. Example of smoking. If someone was born in a time when smoking was allowed everywhere, they would probably smoke freely without any restrictions. But today, the rules are strict. Smoking is allowed only in designated areas, yet smoking spots still exist everywhere. And if smoking is common among friends and family, getting a cigarette remains very easy. Genes and addiction. Nicotine is a highly addictive chemical. Sometimes, addiction can even be genetic, but your destiny is not written in stone. Epigenetics tells us that your genes do not decide your future. Even if you inherited this habit, you can change it. Reset your life. Tish was a popular vlogger. Her content was unique, engaging, and it earned her a good income. But lately, exhaustion had started to take over. The passion she once had for vlogging was slowly fading away. She didn't want to quit, but deep down she was afraid that this constant work might drain her mentally and physically. Then one day, an idea struck her. Why not go on a trip with her family for a while? And yes, also take a complete break from social media. Her family loved the plan, and soon, they began their journey. During their travels across the United States, Tish completely stayed away from social media. As her routine and environment changed, new energy began to return to her. She started feeling creative again, with fresh and exciting ideas for her vlogs. The decision was risky, but life-changing. It gave her the first peak experience, those rare, thrilling moments that refresh your mind and change the way you see the world. A comfortable and new environment reconnects you with yourself. It's in such environments that the best ideas are born. That's why seek opportunities for peak experiences. Simply put, taking a break from routine life is necessary. Take a day or two off in between work to relax. Reflect on your current situation. Remember your priorities and align them in the right direction. Just like a ship's captain adjusts the sails to set the right course, you too must check yourself from time to time. During a vacation or break, write down your thoughts. Start with these questions. What are your next plans? What are you doing to achieve them? What wins or losses have you experienced recently? How can you increase your wins? What have you learned from your losses? Has anything happened with a friend or family member that left a deep impact? What are your goals for the next few weeks? What lesson from last week will you apply in the coming week? Is there something you absolutely need to do in the coming days? Thinking gives you clarity. These questions will help you refocus when daily hustle distracts you. When you're in your peak state, answer them, so they give you the momentum to move forward and become better. Change your default. Think about this. When you come home from the office or school, what do? Switch on the TV and eat chips? or scroll through the same Twitter feed you saw an hour ago? This is default behavior, things you do without thinking because they've become part of your daily routine. The easiest way to change behavior is change your default. For example, an employee might think of themselves as average just because their surroundings are average, when in reality, they might be far more capable. Here's an interesting experiment. Canadian psychologist Bruce Alexander studied addiction using rats. In his first experiment, he placed a rat in a small cage. There were 2 bottles, one with plain water, another with water mixed with heroin and cocaine. The result? The rat chose the drug-laced water and overdosed. Years later, Bruce repeated the test in a new setup, a large lab called Rat Park. Here, the rats had toys, food, and plenty of other rats to play with. The 2 bottles were still there, plain water and drug-laced water, but this time, the drugged water was barely touched. No rat overdosed. This proved your environment triggers your behavior. The more you repeat a habit, the harder it becomes to break. It becomes as natural as breathing. Like a smoker might light a cigarette the moment they see the company entrance. That's their default. So how do you change it? Avoid that entrance. Use another way into the building. To escape the trigger, identify your triggers. Do you get hungry at midnight? Do you always crave dessert after meals? Do you have a habit of biting your nails? Instead of big changes, start with small ones. If you get hungry at midnight, eat with your non-dominant hand. If you crave sweets, wait 5 minutes first. If you want to bite your nails, pause between each finger and ask yourself, is this right? The goal is to break the habits you've built unknowingly. Put pauses in your routine. When you stop, you give yourself a chance to think about your behavior. And when small changes are repeated daily, they turn into new, better habits. Move towards your goals. John Burt is an amazing piano player. He was even nominated for a Grammy for Best New Age Album. One song on this album was Earthbreaker. The inspiration for this song came from the experiences and feelings of people during an earthquake. Earthbreaker was fast-paced and energetic. But the surprising part, John had composed it, yet he couldn't play it himself. He doubted whether he had the complex skills needed to play it perfectly. John always challenged his own music this way. He knew pressure brings out his best. He kept pushing himself to play challenging songs. He practiced Earthbreaker until he was fully confident he could play it perfectly. Pressure always comes from within. But external factors, fans, critics, also play a role. John shared his goals on social media, reserved practice slots in the studio, so there would be no excuse to back down. The most important thing, doing this builds accountability, both to yourself and others. Challenge your skills. Do you want to improve your skills? Then compete with those who are better than you. Why only them? Because competing with those weaker or at your same level only satisfies your ego, but competing with those better than you motivates you to perform at a higher level. When you aim to reach their level, you set higher standards for yourself. You start studying them. What are they doing differently? Why haven't I reached their level yet? And think, what do I need to improve my skills? By continuously challenging yourself this way, you quickly reach your peak condition. Change your environment, boost performance. Can't sleep at night? Maybe you blame the hard mattress or AC, but a bigger reason is your environment. TV always on, phone nearby, laptop open. All of these disturb your sleep and focus. True sleep comes only when you remove these distractions from your bedroom. Changing your environment also improves the quality of your work. Physical space directly influences how well you perform a task. In today's job culture, employees are given flexible schedules and work setups, fewer hours, work from home trends, because creative ideas come only to those in varied environments, like home, public transport, library, or a coffee shop. Breaks and energy, focused work lasts only a few hours. That's when high productivity and energy occur. Staying in the same place continuously causes mental fatigue. Think. As a student, solving a tough math problem for an hour, even as an adult, that fatigue can affect daily life. If you want focus and performance, change your environment. A new environment refreshes your energy and keeps your brain active. That's why taking breaks is essential. Imagine sitting at your desk for hours. Take a 5-minute walk. It may feel small at first, but when you return to your desk, the difference is noticeable. Ari Meisel's method. Ari Meisel, author and entrepreneur, constantly changes his environment. He knows his mental state directly depends on it. That's why he never stays in one place for more than 2 days. He decides where he will do each task. For example, his home in Soho, New York, is only for writing. Why? Because there's no Wi-Fi and the signal is weak. He can work undisturbed there. Change your environment at home. Changing your environment doesn't mean leaving home. Use different areas of your home for different tasks. Kitchen for new ideas, lawn for drafting. You can also use senses to feel like you're in a new place. Pop music while brainstorming ideas. Classical music while writing. Never forget where you came from. Fiona Mutisi is Uganda's first titled female chess player. But fame and recognition didn't come to her easily. Fiona's childhood was full of struggles. Her family lived in a slum area of Uganda where even 2 meals a day were hard to come by. Her mother was so poor that Fiona couldn't attend school. At the age of 9, instead of going to school, Fiona sold corn on the streets. One day, while selling corn, Fiona passed by a school. There was a sports outreach institute running there. They taught children chess for free and even provided porridge to those learning. Fiona watched other kids play chess and deeply wanted to play too. She started going to the school every day. After months of practice, Fiona became so skilled that she began defeating children older than her. She won several competitions, and with each victory, her skills strengthened. Her life also began to change, leaving the poor city behind, moving to a bigger city, having 3 full meals, wearing good clothes. Fiona created a better environment for herself, where she could set new records. Initially, her mother wasn't happy. She thought chess was affecting Fiona's mind negatively, but the truth was Fiona had created the right environment to pursue her dreams. Today, Fiona has earned money and fame, but she has never forgotten her roots. Being born into poverty didn't stop her. Impact of science and family. Scientific studies show that family love and connection have a deep impact on our success. Psychologists Marshall Duke and Dr. Robin Fivush conducted a psychological survey called Do You Know? The survey asked questions like, where did your parents and grandparents live? What illnesses exist in your family? The results showed children who were more connected with their families had higher control over their lives and stronger self-esteem. Strong family support helps personality development and growth. When you fail, family supports you. When you succeed, they teach you humility. Fame and recognition can make someone arrogant. Family and friends remind us where we came from. Success requires both time and effort. Failure is part of life. Be resilient and patient. Learn to celebrate your wins with loved ones. Key takeaways: change your environment. Your physical surroundings and close people influence your behavior. Reset your life. Create a relaxed environment, take breaks, and give yourself time to reflect. Thinking improves focus. What are your goals? What steps are you taking to achieve them? Change default behavior. Gradually break bad habits. Identify triggers and pause before acting. Grow your skills. Compete with better people. Study their techniques and strategies. Activate your environment. Take breaks, go to different places, engage your senses. Never forget your roots. Stay connected with family and friends. Remain humble. Success doesn't come solely from skill or invention. It also comes from personal development, overcoming struggles, and enjoying victories with the people who matter.